The Las Vegas Raiders' upcoming season has stirred up a level of excitement that fans haven't felt in years. This isn't just another season. There's genuine hope swirling through the fan base, a belief that maybe, just maybe, this team is ready to make some serious noise. With the release of the full schedule, it's finally time to dive into each matchup, break down the challenges, and figure out how this season might unfold. Every game has its own story, its own weight, and for a team looking to climb back into playoff contention, every single week matters. There's this tangible buzz around what's coming, a mix of optimism and curiosity. People want to know what the game plan is, what kind of adjustments have been made in the offseason, how will the new pieces fit into the puzzle, and most importantly, can the Raiders finally find that consistency that has eluded them for so long? We're not just talking about flashy plays or individual stats. This is about building a team that can stand toe-to-toe with the heavyweights of the league week in and week out. Before we get into the predictions, it's worth noting how much preparation goes on behind the scenes. Players grinding in the gym, coaches dissecting film, fans counting down the days. There's even been some personal preparation happening, getting ready for a special day that's creeping closer and closer. In exactly 22 days, the season kicks off, and the city of Las Vegas will be watching closely. Let's take a quick look at the slate. The season opener, an away game against the New England Patriots. Right after that, a much-needed bye week comes in Week 8. And in Week 7, there's a massive divisional clash with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders' social media team dropped a fun little schedule release video. If you haven't seen it yet, you're missing out. There's been some chatter about content takedowns and all that drama, but the important thing is the matchups are set. In Week 9, the Raiders face off against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But honestly, the spotlight will be shining brightest toward the tail end of the season. Games against the Broncos, the Cowboys, and the Browns are all lined up to close out the year. And in between, the Raiders will have to navigate tough contests against teams like the Chargers, Broncos again, Eagles, Texans, Giants, and of course, another showdown with the Chiefs. No easy pass here. The key will be starting strong, setting the tone early, and riding that momentum through the brutal midseason stretch. Now, those matchups against the Cowboys and Browns are especially intriguing. Dallas brings a ton of media attention, while Cleveland has a lot to prove after a roller coaster season. Meanwhile, familiar foes like the Chargers, Broncos, and Chiefs guarantee that divisional games will be anything but predictable. For the Raiders, it's simple. A strong start isn't optional, it's essential. If they stumble out of the gate clumping back into the playoff picture will be an uphill battle. That said, there's a real sense of possibility. Fans are daring to believe again. The idea of making a playoff push doesn't seem so far-fetched anymore. Sure, it's a tough road, but for the first time in a while, the pieces might actually be falling into place. If this team can execute, if they can play to their strengths and limit mistakes, there's no reason they can't be in the thick of things come December. Let's jump into how this might play out week by week. Starting with Week 1, the Raiders head to Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. Now playing on the road to start the season, that's always a challenge. The environment, the energy, the history of New England, it can be overwhelming. But here's the thing, on paper, the Raiders might just be the better football team. Yes. The Patriots made some off-season moves, and yes, there's always the specter of a tough defensive scheme waiting for them. But Las Vegas has been busy too. They've added key players, adjusted their schemes, and there's a fresh vibe around this roster. There's an extra layer of drama too. Tom Brady will be back in New England, not as a player, but still as a presence. And across the field, there's Josh McDaniels, a familiar face for Patriots fans, now steering the ship for the Raiders. This is going to be a tight, gritty battle. Don't expect a high-scoring shootout. Instead, it feels like one of those games where every possession counts, where field position and clock management could decide the outcome. But when the dust settles, I believe the Raiders will edge out a win here. It won't be pretty, but it'll be effective. The season kicks off with a hard-fought 1-0 record. Fast forward to Week 2, and things get even more interesting. Monday Night Football, the bright lights of Las Vegas, and the Chargers come into town. This will be the Raiders' home opener, and you can already feel the electricity building. One important thing to keep in mind is how certain quarterbacks perform indoors. When you look at the stats, 30 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, a passer rating of 110 in 14 dome games, it's clear that controlled environments bring out the best in certain players. With 12 games set in domes this season, including this one, the odds are stacking up nicely for the Raiders. Beyond the numbers, there's an undeniable vibe about this game. It's not just another divisional matchup. This is a statement, opportunity, a chance to plant a flag and show the rest of the league that the Raiders mean business. With the energy of the home crowd, the comfort of the stadium, and the hunger to start strong, I see Las Vegas taking this one. That would put them at 2 wins from 2 games, a dream start that could set the tone for the entire season. Looking ahead to Week 3, the Raiders face a real test. They go up against a team that came up just short in the NFC Championship game last year. This isn't going to be easy. A short week, a road game, and outdoor conditions. It's a tough combination. While there's a lot of optimism around this Raiders squad, it's important to stay grounded. The opposing team has proven talent, and while there might be some growing pains for their young quarterback in his second year, the overall roster is stacked. I'm leaning towards this being the Raiders' first loss of the season. That drops them to a respectable 2-1 record, but the real test is how they respond. Week 4 brings another high-profile opponent. This is one of those games that fans circle on the calendar the moment the schedule drops. There's history here. Player connections, coaching rivalries, it all adds up to a charged atmosphere. Honestly, I admire the coaching staff of this opponent. They're sharp, strategic, and have a knack for getting their team ready for big moments. Unfortunately, I've seen this movie before. The Raiders at times have a frustrating habit of dropping games they should win. With bigger rivalries looming, this feels like one of those potential trap games. I suspect the Raiders might slip here, bringing their record to an even 2-2. Week 5 presents yet another challenge, this time on the road but within the friendly confines of an indoor stadium. Both teams will look to impose their will. On the ground, emphasizing the run game. However, questions linger about the opposing quarterback situation. That uncertainty gives the Raiders an edge. Their defense, while not perfect, has shown it can hold its own against teams that struggle to pass effectively. If they can bottle up the run and force the opponent into uncomfortable passing situations, this is a winnable game. I'm projecting a win here, pushing the Raiders to a 3-2 record. Defense will be key, especially against teams that love to pound the rock. The Raiders' run defense has been solid, but their Achilles heel remains the deep pass. Against teams with a strong ground game but shaky quarterback play, they can thrive. Week 6 brings another divisional clash. These games are always unpredictable. No matter the records, these teams know each other inside out. I respect the individual talents on the other side, but at home, with momentum on their side, I see the Raiders holding serve. That would bump their record to 4-2. A position any fan will gladly take at this stage. But let's not get too comfortable. Week 7 poses a significant hurdle, another road game, tough opposition, and yes, the not-so-subtle influence of referees that sometimes seem to favor certain franchises. Add in the outdoor conditions, and this is shaping up to be a tough outing. I hate to say it, but I'm predicting a loss here. That would put the Raiders at 4-3 heading into a crucial bye week. That Week 8 bye couldn't come at a better time. It's a moment to regroup, reassess, and refocus. It's also a prime window to evaluate key players and make decisions as the trade deadline approaches. Names like Dylan Parham, Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, and Trey Tucker will be under the microscope. The front office needs to be sharp here, deciding who's part of the future and who might be used as trade assets. This week off is more than just rest. It's a pivotal checkpoint in the Raiders season journey. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders, and don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a stunning turn of events, TJ Watt, the cornerstone of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, has officially left the team to sign a massive contract with the Las Vegas Raiders. The deal, which has sent shockwaves through the NFL, is one of the most significant moves of the offseason, marking the end of an era in Pittsburgh while ushering in a new chapter for Watt and the Raiders. TJ Watt, who has been with the Steelers since being drafted in 2017, quickly became one of the most dominant defensive players in the league. With a relentless pass rushing style, high football IQ, and exceptional leadership, Watt was the heart and soul of the Steelers' defense. His ability to change the course of games, whether by sacking quarterbacks or forcing critical turnovers, made him an invaluable asset. A two-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Watt earned a reputation as one of the league's elite pass rushers and a player capable of single-handedly altering the momentum of a game. Watt's departure from Pittsburgh, however, comes as the Steelers are in the midst of a rebuilding phase. With a focus shifting toward youth and new energy, the Steelers front office made the tough decision not to offer Watt the long-term deal that he sought. This decision opened the door for the Raiders, a team that has been making headlines. With their aggressive moves to bolster their roster and make a serious push for playoff contention, the Raiders have had an inconsistent few years. But with their new head coach and a revamped front office, the team is determined to return to relevance. The acquisition of Watt serves as a bold statement of their intentions. The Raiders' defense, which has shown flashes of potential in recent seasons, now gains a game-changer in Watt, whose leadership and ability to disrupt offenses will be key in elevating the team's defensive unit. With the Raiders' offense continuing to develop, adding a player of Watt's caliber provides a balance that could make the team a serious contender in the AFC. The contract, reported to be worth a staggering $150 million over 5 years, reflects the Raiders' commitment to improving their roster and making a significant impact in the league. Watt, who was reportedly seeking a deal that would place him among the highest paid defenders in the NFL, will now be one of the top earners in the league. His new deal ensures that he will play a central role in the Raiders' defense for years to come. While the move has left Steelers fans heartbroken, many acknowledge that Watt's legacy in Pittsburgh will endure. His dedication, toughness, and performance on the field earned him a place in Steelers lore, and his departure marks the end of one of the most successful defensive tenures in recent memory. For the Raiders, this is a franchise-altering move, one that could transform their fortunes and make them a force to be reckoned with in the AFC. As the 2025 season looms large, all eyes will be on TJ Watt in a new uniform as he seeks to continue his legacy with a new team and new aspirations. This deal may very well be the spark that propels the Raiders into a new era of success. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.